took was a pause in interest rates, and Canada's housing market roared back to life. A measure of housing affordability that takes a look at the percent of your income that goes towards home ownership is sitting at nearly 70%. That's the highest that it's been in decades. And if you're looking to rent because you can't own a home, well, rent across the country is up an average of 13% from last year. And in major markets like Toronto and Vancouver, it is up something like 20%. Now, across associations, people lament about one thing, the lack of supply. But that is hard to change overnight. And the blunt instrument that we might be left with is interest rates, which is where we get the Bank of Canada rate decision tomorrow. There's some speculation that they could move off the sidelines and hike interest rates as a number of growth engines like housing roar back to life. Our next guest is keenly focused on the Canadian real estate market, one of the biggest landlords in the country with some 65,000 rental units. Let's bring in Mark Kenney, he's the CEO of CAPREIT. Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Sometimes you are part of the solution to make affordable housing, but you've also been ensnared in the controversy of people that have increased rents and made it relatively unaffordable. Talk to us within context about what has happened with rents across the country.
Well, first, thanks so much for having me. And this is an incredibly important conversation for Canada. If we look at the CAPREIT portfolio to start with, the narrative of big can be bad, has definitely been an obstacle. But when we look at our portfolio, it's important to note that over 90% of our customers have received less than a 2% rent increase average over the last 3 years, okay? So it's the 10% of the portfolio where there's a market rent charged that seem to be headline grabbing. Now, even within that number, our new residents are paying less than 40% of income on average to rent an apartment. So it's extremely affordable. The problem just around affordability is what's got everybody's attention, and it's a legitimate problem that's complicated in its solutions.
And you say it's complicated in solutions. Most say the solution is obvious. It's supply. I guess solving that problem is complicated.
That's exactly right. So, Canada was behind in this regard pre-pandemic. We had a moment there where everything seemed okay. Rents were dropping quite dramatically coast to coast because households were consolidating. Kids went home during the pandemic, and therefore there was a lot less rental demand. Now, as things have opened up, we're playing catch up of, a slowdown in construction during the pandemic and this release of people coming out of their family homes and getting back to independent living. This with 500,000 new Canadians coming to our country, just doesn't have a plan. And right now we find ourselves in a terrible position of having to catch up when costs are escalated, interest rates are escalated, and governments are struggling with how to address the problem.
I want to underline that point around immigration, and that your perspective is that we have a plan for increasing the population without a cohesive one on where to house them.
Well, they've been separate issues in Canada. For generations, we've had immigration without a regard to housing policy because our housing was affordable. And it's only in the last sort of decade that this issue has creeped up on us. And I proclaim that you cannot have responsible immigration policy without having responsible housing policy. And we're in a crisis. So balancing those two things are incredibly important. And let me stress, we are incredibly supportive of immigration. What we are putting our hands up on is, the supply problem and how do we solve it? Government has done a little bit of work on the demand side by foreign buyers tax and trying to dissuade generalized demand. But you can't escape the population growth numbers. Those numbers are so profound without a housing solution that I think we're really setting Canada up for some very, very rocky times.
I think that's an important point. There's been no shortage of housing intervention, whether it's foreign buyers tax, vacant home tax, rent control policies that have gone into place, and yet we're still kind of in this situation. It's coming at a time where it feels like at every level of government, there is political posturing. There's elections, here in Toronto. There's elections coming up for Ontario, and you're seeing that federal posturing. Across the political spectrum, are you seeing any credible plans for Canada's housing supply crisis emerge?
Yeah, I am. I'll just do the dynamic first, because this is important for everyone to understand. The politics of housing at the federal level are around immigration. Canadians vote in favor of immigration. We're all immigrants. We all see the merits. At the municipal level, the political challenge is in development. Nope, it's the not in my backyard mentality. People don't want development. They want to vote for immigration, but they don't actually want development in their backyard. And the provinces who have the least influence on those two factors are left to solve the problem. So this is the problem with our three-tier government system in politics in general, okay? I would say that we are seeing, embracing policy suggestions that the apartment REIT sector has made from all three levels. It's action now that we need to take place yesterday. So the NDP, for example, we're very, very supportive of elements of the issue of affordability, like acquiring existing buildings at a third of the cost of building new. To me, this is a way to help Canadians that have income distress in the neighborhoods they're in, really catching up on the social housing problem that we didn't address over the last decade. This is a fast way to go at deep affordability. On the supply side, we need incentives. Like, people don't risk their capital to be good Canadians. Like, they need to know that there's an expectation of a return and not an attack from government. And this is the issues that are getting sorted out. But I think the issues are being understood. There is a signs of action at the provinces. BC has been very progressive. Ontario, like the Doug Ford government, is taking a big hit here for a lot of the positions that they're taking, because they're trying to solve the problem, is what I believe. But it's just showing up in little forms, not nearly enough to make up for the population growth.
And in the absence of that kind of quick political movement, the blunt instrument that has been used, could be used again, is the Bank of Canada and a rate increase. If we get yet another rate increase tomorrow, what's the consequence? Do you think things freeze up again?
Well, it certainly doesn't drive development when the cost of borrowing funds has gone even higher. Like, I like to talk, I'll have to be careful the word I use, but the gates of heck, we'll call it. The first big gate is just capacity of municipalities to take on the housing requirements that we have. Like, the municipalities don't have enough capacity to fulfill our ambitions. So that results in all these levies and development fees and just generalized costs. The average condo in Toronto now is approaching $300,000 in fees. This is before the land and before a shovel goes in the ground. How do you get affordability when you've got a $300,000 impediment right in front of you? Then you've got labor supply issues with wage inflation going up. Then you've got interest rates going up. There's a whole myriad of headwinds here that we have to get through, but it takes bold action, all three levels of government, not just sympathy and understanding and novel programs here and there.
Is it possible for there to be a private sector solution, or, given these constraints that you're talking about, is it not really feasible?
We need listen to this number, because this is $3 trillion of housing development in Canada. This is not, the entire debt of Canada doesn't hit this number, okay? Of course there's a need for the private sector. The private sector has to drive this, okay? But government needs to not just get out of the way, but draw in a very complicated situation for capital to have a chance to make a return. I'll give you an example. The REIT industry in Canada has over 230,000 homes in its development pipeline. This is all the REITs together. The government needs to embrace REITs as a capital source to bring homes to Canada. So it's complicated. There's affordability and there's supply. They are absolutely siblings, but they're not the same person.
$3 trillion in investment. What is that number?
$3 trillion will build, I think it's 5.8 million homes we need. But $3 trillion of new capital for homes in Canada just to meet up with the projections that CMHC says we need.